Okay guys, in this episode we're going to be talking about setting up your systems or designing your environment. Okay, this is so important. What is a system, right? A system is really that process that you're going to take to get you to your result, right? And environment just refers to everything around you, just like your physical environment. So as James Clear says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Willpower is limited, right? So as far as possible, we want to sort of reduce our reliance on willpower and do our best to set up systems in place to really just make sure that when we're relying on as far little willpower as possible, and we are relying on the systems that we put in place, so that this just makes sure that on days where it's hard, on days where it's tough, on days when we don't want to show up, right, we're not relying on that limited willpower, we're not drawing from that well, but instead we are relying on systems that we have already painstakingly thought through and put in place prior to that, because we already saw beforehand that this is going to be an issue and that this is likely going to arise, right? So we already thought ahead of time and we put systems in place to prevent our downfall when that time came about. Okay, so a couple of examples when it comes to this, right? I mean, there are different ways where you can make the action a bit more enticing, or you can even reduce your desire to perform something. So okay, for example, if you need to work out tomorrow, right, I would already start to pack my clothes for tomorrow and lay it out on somewhere that I can see, somewhere obvious, somewhere that when I wake up the next day, I can see my clothes, it's already packed. I have reduced the amount of friction that is there, right? So that's setting up yourself for success, right? The second example that comes to mind is if you have like a pineapple, right? If you think about it, like you have a whole pineapple, it's on your countertop, and you have cut pineapple, it's really cut nicely into cubes. You've already portioned it out into into a container. Now the next day comes and you want to eat that pineapple, right? And you're gonna look at like the whole pineapple on your countertop. You're gonna be like, screw that, I'm not cutting that now. I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to eat a bag of chips which is next to it, right? Because it's easy, rip it open, eat that bag of chips. But if you open that fridge and you saw that cup of pineapple that's there, that you already cut from the day before, right? I can assure you that you're more likely going to eat that cup of cut pineapple than you are that, full fruit that is on the table, right? Because the amount of friction that is there is so much higher for that full fruit, right? So do what you can to really set up your system, set up your environment. Think of things that usually hold you back, right? And think of things that are going to make things easier for you, make things more frictionless for you to be able to perform and follow through with that task the next day or even today, right? So what are those 1-2 things that you can do to start really shifting your environment and making things a bit more conducive for your goals? So guys, really, this is so important. Just think through. I have linked a worksheet down here as well. So go and look through that. Go and try to just make things as practical for yourself in your environment, in your particular situation, right? What are some things that you can really start to do to design your environment? Some cues that you can put in place to help you make sure that you are sticking with the task that you are trying to work on, and you are dialing in these 7 daily habits.